In this key concept video on conservation of biodiversity, we will look at what biodiversity is, anthropogenic causes of species extinction, ecosystem loss, the biodiversity crisis, and conservation. Biodiversity describes the full variety of life, but biologists break this idea into 3 interacting levels so we can measure and compare it scientifically. The first is ecosystem diversity, which looks at the range of environments, from deep ocean vents to tropical forests, and the distinct communities and processes that occur within them. The second is species diversity, which considers both the number of species and how evenly individuals are distributed among them. A rainforest, for example, has high species richness and high evenness. The third level is genetic diversity, which looks at the range of alleles within a population. This is important because genetic variation determines how well populations can adapt to disease, climate shifts, or environmental change through natural selection. Together, these levels allow us to quantify biodiversity and evaluate the health and resilience of living systems. Although several million species have been formally named, many more remain undescribed. Groups such as insects, fungi, and deep-sea organisms are still largely unknown, meaning current estimates of total global biodiversity remain incomplete. Fossils show that Earth's biodiversity has risen and fallen repeatedly over geological time, but at the moment the number of species alive appears to be higher than at any other point in the fossil record. Earth has experienced 5 natural mass extinctions, but today's biodiversity loss is unusual because it is caused overwhelmingly by human activity rather than natural environmental forces. This is known as the 6th mass extinction event. The 6th mass extinction is the ongoing human-driven global loss of species occurring at rates far higher than natural background extinction, caused by factors such as habitat destruction, overexploitation, pollution, climate change, and invasive species. 2 such extinct species are the North Island giant moa, a flightless bird from New Zealand, which disappeared rapidly after human arrival due to extensive hunting and habitat modification. This demonstrates how megafauna are especially vulnerable when humans enter previously isolated ecosystems. And secondly, the Caribbean monk seal, which became the first seal species to be declared extinct in modern times. Intense hunting for oil and competition with industrial fisheries removed the species faster than it could recover. These examples highlight a key IB concept. Small populations and slow reproduction make species highly vulnerable to sudden environmental pressures. Biodiversity loss does not only involve species disappearing. Entire ecosystems can collapse when their structure and processes are disrupted. A major example is the widespread destruction of mixed dipterocarp forests in Southeast Asia. These forests are among the most biodiverse terrestrial ecosystems, yet they are rapidly being cleared for timber extraction, palm oil plantations, and mining. It is important to note that ecosystems depend on interactions between climate, geology, and biological communities. Disrupting one component can destabilize the entire system. Global biodiversity assessments, such as those produced by IPBES, combine years of field studies, species monitoring, and ecological modelling. These reports consistently show declines in species richness, species evenness, and genetic diversity across many ecosystems. Reliable scientific evidence must be repeatable, published, and transparent about its methods. However, it is also important to understand the growing value of citizen science, where community groups contribute large data sets such as bird counts and pollinator surveys. While these data increase sampling coverage, They often require careful statistical treatment to correct for observer bias. Today's biodiversity crisis is driven by several interacting human pressures, some of which were mentioned when talking about the sixth mass extinction. These include overexploitation, including unsustainable hunting and fishing, urban expansion, leading to habitat fragmentation, deforestation and agricultural conversion, the largest single cause of terrestrial habitat loss, pollution, including plastics, chemicals and nutrient runoff, invasive species, which can outcompete native organisms due to global trade, and human population growth, which amplifies all other pressures. These factors rarely act alone. Ecosystems experience them simultaneously, which accelerates decline. Because threats occur at multiple levels, conservation must be multi-layered. In situ conservation protects species within their natural habitats through national parks, reserves, and ecological corridors. These strategies maintain natural selection, species interactions, and ecosystem processes. Ex situ conservation, including zoos, aquaria, seed banks, and tissue banks, preserves species outside the wild and maintains genetic material that may be critical for future reintroduction. Rewilding and ecosystem restoration help return degraded landscapes to functioning ecosystems by reinstating natural processes such as grazing, hydrology, or predator-prey interactions. It's important to understand that no single approach is enough. Effective conservation always integrates several strategies. Conservation resources are limited, so scientists must decide which species most urgently require protection. One influential approach is the Edge of Existence programme, which prioritises species that are both evolutionarily unique and globally endangered. These species sit on long solitary branches of a cladogram, and they have few close relatives and have been evolving independently for a long time. Losing them would remove entire evolutionary histories. But prioritisation also raises ethical and social questions. Should we protect species because they are unique, because they are ecologically important, or because they hold cultural significance? It's important to recognise that conservation decisions reflect scientific evidence and societal values. In summary, then, biodiversity operates at genetic, species and ecosystem levels, and maintaining it is essential for the stability of Earth systems. Although modern biodiversity is higher than ever before, it is declining rapidly due to human activity. By understanding the evidence, recognising the causes, and applying a range of conservation strategies, we can work towards protecting the living systems that support life. And so I will leave you with the key points from this video.